fishing experiment. us live right here on the Fear Fishing Experiment.
Tonight on the FearFishing Experiment.
Shut the Ganaraska down for salmon season.
Hey, I'm Garrett, and tonight somehow I ended up on this show.
Somehow, Mark Hunter won a bass tournament.
Hunter and McCall made some major moves on the duck boat.
This and so much more coming up on the FearFishing Experiment.
Report suspicious activities and call 911 for immediate response. Expect delays, searches of personal property, and restricted access to public buildings. Expect traffic delays and restrictions.
Me on a smallmouth bass.
Hold that up. Shut. Oh my gosh, that's a big fish.
You know what? It turned out into like cinematic genius. It's just beautiful.
The idea is just keep rolling.
Navigating your way on and off the water. Now, here's your host, Ian West.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the FearFishing Experiment number 114. Whoa. Welcome once again. It's going to be a bit of a craziness tonight. First, hit like and share before we start, and you don't like this, just in case. You know what I'm saying? If you're listening on iTunes, make sure you hit that 5-star, and if you don't hit a 5-star, don't vote at all. Subscribe on the YouTube.
I think they got
all that good stuff. Let's get rolling. Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing really good, bud.
Yeah?
Yep, had a great weekend.
How's it going, bud?
I'm good, man.
You had a good weekend?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
I did. I really did nothing yesterday. It was good.
There's nothing wrong
had
with
some
that.
Naps and stuff, and then Saturday was fishing. So
People are tuning in.
Yeah, you got to love those days when your woman wants you to stay home from hunting or fishing because she wants to spend quality time with you, and then she does her own thing and you end up sleeping on the couch.
that's exactly what happened.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
Really?
That wasn't the plan, but that's what happened. I did a bunch of quotes in the morning.
Young Garrett, introduce yourself because we'll get deep into this and we'll forget about you.
Yeah, no, I'm just Garrett. I work with Ian at the outdoor store, and recently have been taking him hunting a couple of times.
Yeah, we did a little hunting. We're going to talk about that tonight.
Yeah, no, it's I've been a viewer for a while, so it's nice to actually be on the show, and I love what you guys are doing here.
Are you nervous?
No, it's great. Like, I love that.
You should be very nervous.
The senior citizens
Very
out
nervous.
to come out on the show.
Whoa!
I know, eh? Oh,
Wow.
You're in.
Day pass.
Wow.
Day pass from the retirement home.
It's already starting.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right.
Don't forget, folks, you can get in and direct the conversation tonight just by asking questions, comments on the IM board. We got a lot to talk about. But first, the man who pulls this all together, the real star of the show.
Hey, nice to see you all.
What about Sean McCall?
No, I'm not even here tonight. I'm not even here.
I was like, what's he talking about?
I totally forgot about that part. Sean, how are you?
I'm kind of hard to miss, I know.
Yeah. Do you feel the love right now?
Yeah, I feel it big time. I'm doing all right.
Good, man.
Yep. Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here.
And all.
I'm glad you're here.
Now, why do all the guests get set next to the gorilla every time?
Because Mark won't leave me alone.
Because of the initiation, that's why.
Because I get to judge your soft hands.
Yeah.
Mark's hoping Jack Links falls out of my pocket. That's why he sits beside me.
I'll go in and get it if I know it's there. It's that good.
So, because we are a trending channel, not only belts have now become a very popular item, fishing for belts. But let's get back to the bear topic. Woody, is there any bear progress?
Yeah, no updates on the bear. I really thought last week for sure we'd get some
somebody.
inquiries. Yeah,
You would think somebody has a breeding pair of grizzly bears for sale.
I was hoping Jim Shockey was going to give me a shout.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like that, man. I've been watching Uncharted this week. I watched Uncharted Yukon. They've been releasing episodes like here and there. I kind of feel like Jim Shockey could capture us a bear with his bare hands. Like, I don't feel he seems like a very intimidating man.
If there's somebody that could do it on the planet, it is Jim Shockey.
Like, I envision Woody standing in the Yukon and Jim just dragging one by the scruff of its neck like a puppy and being like, here you go, Woody.
Jim Shockey holds more hunting records for big game than anybody else on the planet.
Really?
Yeah.
So let's dive right in here to the controversy. Do you think if Jim Shockey did the same thing he did because he's had a very successful career, he's done amazing TV show, like his TV shows have been like top drawer for 20 years. Like he's always been pressing the limit of like cinematography, content, being open.
He's very forward thinking.
Do you think that if he's basically, for our culture of humans, he's our David Suzuki. I learned a lot in my younger years watching him on TNN Outdoors about conservation, etc. Do you think if he wasn't a hunter and he accomplished like being the first person to hunt in the Pakistani Palace, the only Westerner to ever do that, do you think he'd be more of a national treasure? Do you think he'd be in the top 20 Canadians all time, like Don Cherry is with hockey? Do you think he's just outcasted because he's a hunter? That's a deep question.
Yeah,
I don't think he's probably not like
top 50
a family name.
Because he hunts.
Yeah, but
his accomplishments are amazing.
In his game, and anybody that's in his game definitely knows who he is.
Yeah, but do you think if he did something else, let's say he never shot an animal, and he went and looked and filmed all these animals, then would he be a household name like David Suzuki? Or is it because the CBC isn't letting hunting channel shows play because it's FUBAR that he isn't a household name? Do you think he deserves more credit than he gets?
Yeah, I definitely think that he deserves more than he gets, but with hunting, because it's such a different animal compared to, National Geographic, like any of the filming of that stuff.
Yeah. But that new Uncharted or Yukon is next level on the cinematography.
100%, and I think more people are becoming open to the idea of watching the hunting stuff than just the observing of the animals, more of the actual hunting side of it. I think people are becoming more open to that.
I don't feel that right now the man in the hunting world or the outdoor world, even when it comes to fishing, like Rennell is the champion.
Right now he is. He's top of the
He's the top of the food chain.
And that's why more people are being open to it.
Do you think that Jim has carved a way for there to be room for Rennell?
Sure, absolutely.
To go deeper, to go more thinking?
I would find it very hard to believe that Jim Shockey wasn't one of Renella's like mentors or something that influenced him heavily.
I guarantee Rennell would 100% know who he was.
Oh, absolutely.
And definitely respect him for what he does because he's a good hunter and an ethical hunter at that.
Anybody watch the first episode of the new series of Das Boat? I watched it last night. They're doing it again. They got a new boat. Steve Renella's next door neighbor, who he grew up where. The neighborhood guy and where Steve Rennella grew up, who would if your dad wasn't home, you would go to this guy and he would fix your fishing line or get you a lure or tie a hook on for you. He passed away and now Steve's doing the same thing again, but they're using this guy's boat.
Oh yeah, cool.
It's a great idea.
That was a good series, little series.
It was a great little series, and I watched the first episode last night, and it's very this will work into the same thing. Like, there's two different breeds of anglers out there: sport fishermen and guys who are harvesting to eat. We talked about this a little bit before.
Yep.
Like they're
meat fishermen.
Yeah, but there's not there almost seems to be a bad rap about that in today's day and age.
What, harvesting?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like if somebody killed a bass, it'd be taboo, right? See all kinds of posts where somebody...
In our world, it would.
In our world.
If you talk to somebody down the street, if your neighbor ate a bass, do you think they wouldn't have any opinion on it?
I've seen some pretty...
Yeah, if you talk to anglers,
something.
If you talk to anglers outside of the tournament world,
yeah,
it's
or
not.
Sport, like the hardcore sport fishing, catch and release kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Well, Garrett.
Well,
so you're not a tournament angler.
Yeah, so from a guy who is a meat fisherman. It's the same thing as if you're going out hunting, like for me.
Yeah.
You throw back the little ones. You're not gonna harvest something that's this you're not gonna get a dink and you're not gonna pull it fry it in a pan.
Whoa. If you caught a 5-pound largemouth bass, would you grow them?
No, that's a different thing.
We've never had to ask somebody to leave the ship.
Standing on board.
Yeah,
You're going to have to find out the answer.
First time on the podcast, the last time.
We've never asked somebody to leave before.
You almost found out why you're sitting beside Sean McCall.
We almost had it out the other day. Dropped a hat. Yeah, but no, like throwing. Again, it comes back to for me. Like if I was to go out and get a muskie.
Yeah.
Like just a massive muskie. Like it's one of those.
Muskie.
It's one of those. It's like, yeah, this is a record fish. This is a great looking fish, but I'm also hungry, and this is a lot of meat.
Really?
You would keep a muskie?
Oh, have you smelled one of those things?
You ever ate one?
Oh, I can't believe we're having this conversation.
This is awesome.
This is deep. Here we go.
Did you ever make muskie cheek sliders?
No,
I've always wanted to try one.
You honestly eat
legitimate?
Yeah, I've eaten a muskie before. I caught a muskie and I ate the muskie.
So like early season muskie, cold water muskie to summer muskie.
Well, okay, so I caught a muskie and I ate a muskie. It wasn't like I go out and catch muskie and then eat all the muskie I catch.
Gotcha. They like swallowed the hook.
You went fishing,
I'm a big hunter.
Fishing, you caught a fish and you ate it.
Yeah, I'm a big hunter. Fishing is when I get invited out to go fishing. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know everything about it. I can get by enough where I don't get a hook in the back of my neck, but
never better than Sean.
I watched that. That video came up the other day. You with 2 hooks in you. That was amazing.
I did see that too.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it happened. That was 4 hooks.
So when you go fishing, you're going to eat.
Yeah, 100%. Some of the, like if we're going out for bass, I'm not going to eat a bass.
But that's good.
Like I'm going out to fish bass, and that's with somebody who is a big bass fisherman, and he can tell me how to do stuff. Because like a lot of the times I'll go out and be like, "Oh, that looks like a great spot." And he's like, "Why would we ever go over there?" And
see, where if I was to take somebody fishing.
Oh, okay. I know you're headed here. Go.
And they wanted to harvest a fish. I'd have no problem with it.
No, me neither.
I would guide them.
I've done it.
I would guide them though in the right direction of what fish to harvest. You know, if they caught a 5-pounder, I'd be like, "Hey, listen, maybe that's not the fish we want to take home with us, and this is why. Those are our big breeders, and that's what we need to sustain this fishery." But if they caught like a nice 2-pounder, I'd be like, "Hey, that's a perfect fish if you want to take one home."
Yeah, that's an easy fish to recoup into the system.
Yeah,
right.
Won't miss it. I think, who did I have? I had a conversation today with one of my buddies who was upset that they were keeping some smallmouth bass on Rice Lake. He wasn't really upset, but I explained to him that the M&R is taking into effect that every time somebody goes fishing on that lake, they can kill 6 bass. Right?
Right.
Like it is, like we're gonna talk some conservation here, but
which wouldn't be good.
No, it wouldn't be good. But it's being accounted into the how many, just the same as deer tags or anything else into the system, that those fish are going to be taken from any body of water. It's not always good, but it's the same as walleye, right? They're counting how many walleye are in a system and how many you can take and what size ones, and there's a population of them there. So there's nothing wrong with keeping a fish.
Yeah, see, I think that the conservation and the sport limits should change on bass.
What do you think
I really do. I think we should try to keep them more as a sport fish.
Well, have you ever eaten a bass?
Years and years.
I'm trying not to go to hell, Garrett.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's not like people. I would never go out and be like, "Oh, I can't wait to eat some bass tonight."
It's like going to Alabama.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's go to Alabama.
My sister's got some great
That's
bass.
such a hot idea when you get there.
Yeah.
What'd you say? Say that again.
I heard it too.
Yeah, it's not something that's like, "Oh, my sister's got some great bass over at her place. Let's go over there and eat that."
I'm not going to my sister's to eat bass.
Yeah, me neither.
Have you ever eaten a bass, Mark?
I might go to your sister's.
Like when I was a kid, I have.
Yeah?
Yeah. But
I'm pretty sure we went to the cottage one time when I was about 17. My mom caught a giant smallmouth on Seymour, and it just got mixed into the peckerel fillets.
Not well and over.
It was a good one.
Probably 30
a real good
years,
one. We probably have a
years.
picture of it somewhere.
Yeah, it's not the best panfish.
I don't know that you can so I don't want you shouldn't be keeping trophy fish let's be real here. If you catch a 15-inch crappie in today's day and age, you should let that fish go.
Yes, you should.
If you caught like a 13-inch bluegill.
But that 15-inch crappie, there's no way it's getting let go by those.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No.
That's
like
like
the dinner plate right there.
That's a slap.
Yeah.
Especially
right?
for the guys who sit on like causeways and stuff, or shore fishermen who are just strictly
That's
there
like
for bucket fish.
So again,
love that.
Yeah.
we talked about this a few weeks ago. How do you educate people for that we can have successful fisheries? Because I'm telling you, I've heard a lot of complaining this summer that the fishing is really, really tough.
It has
Like-
been.
Like real tough. So how do you what's step one to spreading the word? How did they spread the word? Garrett, explain your background with going to Sir Sanford Fleming so that you have some credibility here.
Cool. So I appreciate being put on the spot for this. So I went to Sir Sanford Fleming for fish and wildlife, actually. And my whole reasoning was go there. I wanted to become a conservation officer. And there was a lot of hope in that until I got there and realized, well, there's also 300 other kids just in my program this year going for that.
Yep.
So I ended up venturing out halfway through finishing my actual schooling and that's how I ended up in the guns. But
you have some background knowledge.
I have some background into how the whole
system works,
how our hatcheries work, how more fish get introduced, and why they introduce them into certain areas. And it actually isn't all that hard to figure out. You don't need to go to actual college to figure this stuff out. It's all readily available online, and it makes a big difference in where you're going to be fishing and why you're fishing there. If you just go and look up what is in that water and why it's in the water and how it got there, it'll make a big difference. Not so much with like bass and stuff like that. A lot of the stuff like the big stock areas aren't just for the bass fishermen. Like it's a lot of like the brookies, the bows, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think they've stocked any bass anywhere since 1987.
That's a completely different animal for it. But for a lot of the trouts and the salmons and stuff like that, it just looking into where you're fishing is a good way to start with helping preservation and conservation of the sport and the actual resource, because it isn't just a sport. Like I know that's big for you guys, but it is an actual resource for a lot of people as well.
I got a comment here. Jeremy Conkright. I'm a sport fisherman and catch and release, but I have nothing against guys wanting to keep select harvest is key for bass. That's true. And here's another thing. I'd much rather if somebody nuked a 5-pounder and got the hooks deep in it, that they just kept it and ate it, then tried to release it and it went to waste. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, then you got a floater in the water.
Yeah.
That's happened to me before. I've hooked a smallie in the tongue real bad, and I put it in the well just to make sure. I'm like, ooh, I don't know if this is gonna make her or not. And a couple hours later, it was belly up. There was nothing I could do.
Yeah,
for it, right?
you should do it. And if you're not prepared to eat it, then you should call.
It got eaten.
Yeah, you should call somebody or drop it off and take it to somebody.
somewhere.
There's all kinds of old boys who absolutely love them. So I don't want to see anybody waste a fish being overly conservationist,
100%.
right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and going into that, knowing that whatever I'm catching today, if it's not going to make it after that hook comes out, then being able to...
I can't believe you ate a muskie. What did it taste like?
Muskie.
How'd you cook it?
It tastes like muskie.
How'd you cook it?
It was a lot greasier than I was expecting. It was almost like bassa, like super, super greasy fish. The bass didn't like to stick to it too well. So the first round we did, it was just a messy, gooey ball, but cooked it and ate it. And the second one, we dried out a little bit.
You tried it out?
Not in the terms of dehydrating or smoking, but we paper toweled it and tried a different batter.
We got a question.
It wasn't horrible.
It wasn't horrible. It sounds horrible.
Fishing for Pike on Instagram asked today, favorite fish recipes other than sushi. You guys got any?
Sorry, what?
Fishing for pike. Yep. Favorite recipe for fish other than sushi, because everybody knows that we really enjoy the sushi.
Yeah, we do.
Like a lot.
And they're back on for all you can eat, eh?
Really?
So we can probably...
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it has been a really long time.
Hey.
Do you eat sushi?
What do you think?
Woody doesn't. Woody, why don't you eat sushi?
I don't like fish.
Okay, but there's other stuff than just fish, my dude.
Well, I eat the vegetable stuff for sure.
What about the beef? What about the pork? What about the chicken?
I've never had any of that.
Beef sushi is not real sushi.
No, what is that? What's that stuff that you make us eat, Sean? The raw beef?
Yeah,
sashimi.
The sashimi beef.
Oh my God, to die for, Woody.
Yeah,
I've never had it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, raw
a little
beef.
vinegar
is it
on it.
Like tartare, or is it just chopped up, minced beef?
No, it's like a tartare. It's sliced real thin.
Oh, so it's raw beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
And what's the other ones? Anaki rolls?
Yeah, but that's
with
cooked
the,
beef with the mushrooms.
with
The
mushroom-
little baby mushrooms. Oh my God,
I'm
that
a
stuff's
little hungry.
delicious. Wow.
Andy Cox is sending us those.
Soft for your
sending us those pogos
for my gums.
Yeah.
Andy Cox is sending us those pogos for the next podcast. They're in short demand in Chicago right now. He's going to send them to us in the mail.
The Jimmy Dean ones?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sweet.
He said he would hook us up.
So I want you to
I'm
think
not going to
about
ask.
this.
He's going to get it. He says he's going to freeze it and send it. Like, it'll be frozen when they get here. Can somebody send us sushi for the next show? Wouldn't that be delicious?
I'll bring sushi next time.
Will you?
Yeah.
You'll come? You can come back if you bring sushi.
I'm already allowed to come back?
Yeah.
The way
If you're bringing
We'll
food.
see. We'll see what
Even
kind of
with all the
message
bass
we
I
get
eat?
about the musk eating.
You got something there, Sean?
Yeah, Sean Heitzman on YouTube there. He says the baby's coming in December, boys. You guys want to split the Godfather honors?
Yeah.
Big shout out to the whole crew from Peterborough.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
That'd be pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
You guys, I don't want to have children.
Well, the three of us, like, it'd be like 3 men and a little lady.
Yeah, but
I'm going to be Tom Selleck.
you could fit that role.
Who's the
I'd
other
be the
two?
dad that's never there.
No, who are you? You would be, what's his name from Cheers?
Woody?
No, the main character. He was in that movie, 3 Men and a Little Lady.
Ted
Do you know
Danson.
Ted Danson?
Yeah.
That makes you that guy that we can't remember his name, but he was kind of popular in the 80s.
He's the guy who's always there, but nobody really noticed.
Yeah.
George Michael?
No. What is his name? Can you Google that?
Yeah, I can look it up.
Look it up. He was really famous, and he was in a pile. He was in Police Academy. Really famous in the 80s, and then kind of drifted off. What are you giggling about?
I just read a great comment on YouTube from Zwins.
Oh, I know this. Yeah.
Bass tastes like guilt.
Bread and guilt.
Bread and guilt. That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious.
Shout out to Adam Hillen who's watching. I can't wait to see you in a month and a half, buddy.
Yeah, bud.
He's a big buck killer.
He's the reason why we had some venison in the freezer this year.
Shout out to Adam. I can't think of that. Gloomberg or something like that.
Yeah.
You have the power of the world in front of you right now. Like you can. It's
I
a
gotta
super
watch the
Googleable thing.
Steven Gutenberg.
Nah.
Yeah. Jared, we got somebody there. Steven Gutenberg. He was in like Police Academy and shit.
Yeah. That was a great movie.
Which Police Academy? Wasn't there like 8 of them?
Yeah. Hey, here's a trivia question for everybody out there. What bar did they go to in Police Academy?
Blue Oyster.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw that movie
funny.
10,000
That's a
times.
great movie.
Yeah.
I got a pretty good comment here from the Tired Redneck. He says, okay, tell me how many bass you eat after you cut one open and it's full of giant wiggly worms. You've seen that a lot.
Yeah,
where people cut
yeah.
them open and they're full of Sankos or craws or
like real worms.
Yeah.
Right. Like they get wormy in the summer.
Are you talking about in their stomach? What's in their stomach or what's in through the meat?
Well, probably what's in their stomach.
Well, it's probably
Why
just
would you
open.
care?
Yeah, but opening up a bass to see a bunch of rubbers sitting in there, would you want to eat that?
Bunch of
That came out wrong.
Yeah,
I've been fishing some really shitty lakes. Let me tell you.
I actually caught a bass this year, and as it was coming up, it horked up a big white Sanko.
No way.
I've had them hork up plastics too.
Yeah.
You see pictures of them. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but on Facebook where they're like the craw is coming out of like their anal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Out
Like
their
way
anal.
too far. Is that what it's called in a fish?
Out their anal, I guess.
Yeah, the technical term for a fish's butt is called their anal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it?
No.
Thanks, M&R guy.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Wow.
What do you want to go on to? Do you want to talk about the good dove hunt?
Sure.
So we made last Saturday. There's a YouTube video up. We'll probably watch that during the break. Gavin, Full Draw Outdoors.
Yep.
Our buddy. We gotta have him. We gotta have him in here for one of these shows. He's a long time watcher. Never calls in though. He's a dude. He invited us with no like planning at all to go dove hunting.
Yeah.
Last
it was
minute.
Cool.
Last minute, like, hey, you want to come dove hunting?
Sean, I told Sean. He says no.
Well, no. What did he actually say?
He said. You know they mate for life.
Made for life.
And then he says, if I was his girlfriend and you shot him, I'd come and peck your eyes out.
I wouldn't stop until I pecked your eyes out. That's what I said. So I was just trying to make you feel bad.
They tasted real good bacon wrap. Let me tell you.
So we went out. We got a few.
And that was your first actual
my
gun hunt.
It was my first gun hunt ever. Yeah.
So we got a few. Mark found some on the roast.
Yeah, I did.
We got a couple. We ate them. They were delicious.
Great at flushing them out for us.
I'm a flusher.
Yeah.
Casey went. Casey had a good time.
Yeah, she did. She wasn't great at finding the birds, but
she did find one for us.
She did find one.
Yeah,
she did find one.
She did.
Didn't grab it or bring it over.
No, she just pointed at it.
Yeah.
Put her nose
laid
in.
there. Yeah. She the one you shot off the sand pile. She attacked.
It was a gravel pile.
When you when you got away, she attacked it. It was a good day though. I got my steps in.
Fun.
I got like 22,000
steps. 13,000, I think it was.
This is a good walking day.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy yourself, Mark?
Yeah, I learned how to clean one up.
Yeah.
Yeah, prepare it and get it ready for the barbecue. So that
it was
really
amazing.
Cool. It was a good learning experience.
We were 48 shy of our limit.
It was fun. And walking through it, it's like, wabbits.
No, 48. I thought wasn't it like
58?
50. Yeah, 57. 57 shy of the limit.
Yeah.
Right. Would you do it again?
Absolutely, 100%.
They were delicious.
Were you surprised how easy it is to actually clean them? Like you don't need scissors, you don't need knives. It's just.
I think it would be a little easier with scissors. I think I'll use scissors next time.
Yeah.
Just for those, those two ends.
Yeah. Do you notice how Ian didn't get his hands dirty when he did it too?
He never gets his hands dirty.
Never got his hands dirty doing anything.
I slipped one time.
He might have spilled coffee on a finger one time.
All right, Ian, we're gonna clean the doves. Oh
All
yeah,
right.
no, I'll film the camera. No, we got enough for you to clean. No, it's okay. I'll just use the camera.
So they were really good. The only hard part was when all the wives were on the telephone wire there. Gavin's watching it.
And he ate his toothpick too.
Yeah.
Gavin ate his toothpick. Yeah,
that's how rough around the edges Gavin is. He ate his toothpick.
Real man's man, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, anybody's got questions, comments, make sure you throw them out there on Facebook and the YouTube, and we'll get to them.
Yes, we will.
Mark, you've been on a roll fishing.
No, I haven't.
Okay, you had one good day. Let's hear about it.
Bad summer so far.
You think so?
Like I've let you beat me like twice now. 3 times.
I am the champ.
Twice.
You're just that good. You let other people beat you.
Well, he just has, and he shouldn't. So.
I've hardly fished at all, but I this twice.
You're such a dick.
Yeah. That's why we don't want him to have it.
I won twice out of 3 events.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, you don't? I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
wasn't apparent.
It's kind of a touchy spot around here.
Yeah. It's bullshit.
These guys been pre-fishing 7 days a week. I show up after 3 weeks not being anywhere.
Does that really sit down here all the time? I feel like that you put that on before you go to bed.
Well, I did the first time. I did the first time, but now I'm just so used to having it.
There's a grocery shopping in it.
I haven't been grocery shopping.
Yeah, so
what do you guys think? So tell us about your thing, because then we're talking about grocery shopping. We'll do a little.
Well, I finally had a good day on the water on Saturday.
What'd you weigh in?
Never been in. 1492.
Nice.
That was enough. So
I haven't heard of any.
You want to
super
hear
sacks
something
anywhere.
really, really interesting?
What?
It was even though Sean's been at Hogtown for 4 years.
Yeah.
It was his first Hogtown tournament.
Really?
And he's
I'd never fished a tournament with Hogtown. I like going to all the meetings and stuff, but I could never get away. Like I was tied up with work for a couple of years, and then fishing with you, and every time I wanted to go out, we ended up pre-fishing, or helping run tournaments. So I just didn't have the extra time. So finally, I had some extra time, and I had this. They had this lake come up, Ketchiwanuka. They changed it from Balsam because Andy was on the lake this weekend, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to squeeze in and fish that body of water. So I did. So it was my very first event, and it was cool.
And he'll always remember it, his first, as the one I won.
You're such a dick.
Yeah,
you got. That's why they sit on that side of the table. Because you put all the dicks on the same side of the table.
Well, it's fear. It's the fear of the fear fishing. That's why they're over there.
Yeah.
Hey man.
Do you know why we named it Fear Fishing?
No, I actually don't.
Really? I'll tell this story. Is that all right if I cut in there and tell this?
Oh, I guess you might as well tell it again.
Yeah, 8,000 times. So Marley and I wanted to film outdoor fishing TV. We should sit down one night. I found a whole bunch of DVDs. So the original camera we have was CDs. You put a CD in a camera. You guys remember how old that was? And they burnt it, and then you could upload it to your computer. So we needed a name, and we called it Horniak and West Outdoors, which is the worst name ever. I got those DVDs too. So we got really, really drunk one night because my friend. You ever had one of those? You ever have one of those friends who never pays for anything?
Yeah.
Like they come fishing all the time, but they never put gas in the boat, and they never buy beer. And
there's been a few of those over the years,
and they never have anything, right? Like they never have fishing line, they never have baits. So this guy leaves a big bottle of whiskey here, right? And we had one drink out of it one night, and he took it home. But then he brought it back and left it. So Marley and I are like, we're drinking the whole thing. Like, that's the only way we'll ever recoup anything. So we get a piece of paper out and we write a whole bunch of words down. When I woke, and we got like, so we were probably like 24, 25-ish. But when you get whiskey drunk and nobody understands you, but the two of you are like so connected.
We got a couple of drunks through COVID, you and I.
Yeah.
Where do you think the belt came from?
Yeah. But you know when you're like deep and it makes no sense to anybody sober, but the two of you are just talking, right? You know that? I woke up in the morning and there was like 1,000 words on 2 pieces of paper and it said fear and fishing. And that was good enough for me.
Wow, I feel like that whole story could have been condensed a lot more remember those cameras?
I should have made something up. I do have the DVDs. I'd like to watch them sometime. I don't even have a DVD player anymore. No. I'd like to find one and watch it.
I don't know if we do or not.
You say that like it's going to be hard to find a DVD player.
I think it might.
They still sell those. It's not like a VHS tape.
You can.
They're hard to find. We found
DVD
one.
Did you?
Yeah, Joan wanted one the other day.
Did you get like a new one or a used one?
Dave Richard had one.
No way.
Yeah, he dropped it off.
Shout out to Dave.
We got to watch.
Hey, you can play DVDs on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
What? What's the Blu-ray? I got a funny story about a Blu-ray, but I won't tell it tonight, Craig. It's really not appropriate for this audience.
I don't know. How can it? Nah.
No, you don't even want
Never
to know.
mind.
It's real bad. Shout out to Craig.
Yeah, we got some people that want to talk about the salmon fishing in Port Hope.
Oh, was a lack of?
Yeah.
We went out. Okay, so do you want to talk about that?
Sure.
Okay, so good bag of fish there. Kyle. Oh,
that was from Balsam on the week.
Sorry. I totally blanked out there for a second. Mercer and I went out 2 different boats. I took young Matt Wright from Coburg. He found my boat seats and I owed him a fishing trip, so we went out. Couldn't get any to bite, but I get to get this amazing footage. I'm queuing you up, Woody, of the live scope perspective mode. Before we get into salmon season, you got to see this. This is really, really super cool. No? Close?
Well, I got to get on the internet.
Oh.
Come on.
Okay. So anyway, perspective mode is your live scope. Your live scope is like up and down. Perspective mode flips your transducer, and now you can see like almost like a 360, but it's really a 180, and you can move back and forth. I thought it was cool smallmouth fishing in this earlier in the year, but these Chinooks, I wish I would have got more film. It was really rough out there, and it was hard to hold the camera and like film. But when Woody gets a second year, he's going to play it for us. Mercer got one that night that didn't want to bite. And then on the last show, we talked about grizzly bears and them shutting down the Ganaraska.
Yep.
Here we go. See those dots in here? Look at them swimming right in front of the boat. Isn't that amazing?
Just about to make their way up the Ganaraska River.
See them moving? Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's very cool.
That's a lot of them.
Yeah, it was nuts. And that wasn't even a couple big schools we saw. So in the last podcast, we did it Monday night, and then Tuesday they did the vote, and they decided to shut the river down again. All the municipal property.
Land access.
Access.
Not shut the river down.
Not shut the river down. So they can't shut the river down because they don't own the river.
And they left the boat launch open.
They left the boat launch open. So Mercer and I actually went out when the boat launch, I believe it was the next night after the podcast, we launched our boats and the boat launch was open. Some smart men launched their boats and just stayed right in the harbor where we went float fishing last year, and they were catching fish.
Yep.
They weren't grabbing baits, hard baits. We stayed till dark because we can't film at night. But on the weekend, I went, I'm not sure exactly what day, I went walking, and I saw the guys down there with their canoe fishing what is like the byway pool. Mm-hmm. And I made an Instagram post about, hey, there's guys in there with a canoe. And I was willing to bet that the police would be along shortly. Now, I never even thought about how they got in there. I never thought about the laws, or I just assumed the municipality owned the shoreline. After the video came out, the municipality doesn't own the shoreline.
No,
they own the high water mark. So these very creative, smart young men launched their canoe at the boat launch that is perfectly open and paddled her upstream.
As far as they could.
As far as they could.
So I think the big problem the municipality had too there was that
they didn't think.
Yeah, so they didn't think, but they were like, well, how else did you get here unless you launched from our land? And they're like, no, we paddled in. Like, we paddled up the Ganny and came in here.
Yeah.
So when they sent when the sergeant arrived, he's like, no, there's no bylaw stating that they can't come up this way, and they're not even on our land, so it doesn't even matter. We can't, as long as they didn't enter from our land, there's nothing they could have done.
That's right.
And it was a really cool way of thinking around it. Like you're doing nothing illegal, and you're still enjoying it and having a good time.
So in my head, when I was walking across the bridge and I saw them fishing, I was like, I wonder how they got. I never even thought about the launch. I thought they come downstream, rode the rapids.
Straight on down the fish ladder.
That shows how uncreative it's not very far paddle from the boat launch, and I would have launched that way up Sylvan Glen, jumped the dam.
Wow.
Yeah, but no, they walk part of the way up there too, right?
They did, yeah.
They only got up so far, and then they had their waders on. But there's still a lot of dry land up there that's considered river bottom.
It's the high water mark.
Right. That's dry that they could stand on, right?
Just because it's not covered by water now
doesn't mean that it's not.
Won't be.
Exactly.
That's right. Yeah. And that's what one of the police in that video was saying. Oh, you're on dry ground. You're on our property. And the guy's like, no, you don't understand. You need to look at the rules for what designates a river.
Well, this brings up a lot because this has been a common issue for a lot of years now. Like. People, I was wrong when I saw them. I assumed
that they were doing something wrong.
No, I thought that it was a clever plan, but I assumed that I never looked at it. I thought that they would get kicked out of there and they were going to get ticketed. But it's good that people are standing up, and they said that as soon as they heard the river was closing, that they called the M&R, and the M&R basically told them, no, you can go do that.
And, these are two guys that, they enjoy Port Hope. They come down once a year. It only happens for a short amount of time.
And from watching in the video, they're not like hardcore sport fishermen.
No.
They were
guys
looking.
that like to fish.
It's guys who like to fish, but they know the rules and they know the regs. And they follow
I'd watched some of their videos before, and they have a cabin somewhere, and they do a lot of cook and kill videos.
Again, they're meat eaters.
Like they're
meat anglers.
They're not looking to catch the 5 biggest bass. They're looking to eat some food and have a good time in the outdoors.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of kind of that sport fishing. They from what I saw, and they weren't using like high-end float rods. They were using rods to harvest Chinooks.
Yep, but they go out of their way to make sure that they know the rules and regulations.
100%. I did also notice when we were watching the video tonight that a couple times they were like, hey, hold on a second. We need to go put this fish on ice.
Yeah.
They weren't looking to waste any food.
They were talking to the cops and said, okay, look, we got to deal with this fish, and then we'll talk to you.
Yeah. We'll come back. They went and dealt with their fish, and when they come back, the cop was gone. Yeah, and that was a cop that was being a dick.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a lack of education. So I don't. Yes, he was being a dick, and his attitude ended up sucking, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a lack of education on their part. The area you're patrolling, you think you should know a little bit more about what goes on in it. And
I don't think anybody thought about this, or they would have shut the boat line.
Do you think they're
now
they're going to shut the boat ramp now?
I don't know. I would. Okay, so if this is so that video's been up, the cops walked away, so they've set precedent. The cops of the town of Port Hope's realized by setting precedents that now you can't write a ticket to somebody now.
Nope.
It's out there, right? You can't.
Yeah.
If we could take that duck boat and we could make it to there and then walk the river. And they couldn't stop us.
No.
You could go up in an inner tube and they couldn't stop.
Right, realistically, if you could walk down the boat ramp.
But I'll tell you something right now. This weekend, if that river's flooded with boats and guys are up there fishing, they will close that boat ramp.
They will close.
They'll shut her down.
Sure they will. Right.
Then you got to run the rapids and go over the dam, and then
then it gets real interesting.
Bring your GoPro.
Yeah, for sure. I've been willing to watch that
footage.
Well, what do you guys think? Yeah, I think it's great that they.
It's very innovative. Smart.
No, I don't think it's anything too crazy. It's two guys who know their stuff and know what they're doing, enjoy what they're doing, so they're just going to go and do it. They didn't do anything illegal, and they had a great time.
And that's a big thing that we all like. The video's got a ton of hits, and it's a lot of anglers and hunters will be educated to their rights now.
Going out for and obviously you guys will know more about fishing rigs than I do. I can get by in the ice hut with some perch, but when it comes to hunting, it's a really important thing because you're not only now just going out to get meat, you're going out with a weapon. You got a gun.
Yeah.
So knowing your regs and what you're doing in the area you're doing it is a very important
There's
thing.
lots of spots too where there's like like crown land that's landlocked, but there's road allowances.
Yes.
That you can get into that land, but the road allowances are kind of hidden so that nobody ever goes in there,
That's
right? But it's your right to go in there. This is not like a huge Ontario thing that I've seen in the past, but this is a huge like Western. You see a lot of stuff on like TV shows and public land hunts.
So public land in the States is completely different than crown land here.
Yeah.
It's a completely different thing.
But we never see anything that like says crown land is our land or.
No, because I think a lot of people who aren't involved in outdoor stuff doesn't know a lot about crown.
I don't know a ton about
There's
crown.
a lot of people I've talked to, and even coming in to work, who will talk to us about hunting and shooting. They'll be like, "So I don't have anywhere to shoot this gun. Can I just go to crown land?" And it's like, no, you can't just discharge a firearm to target shoot on crown land. You go and hunt there, no problem. And they're like, well, how do I find crown land to hunt? And people don't realize you can Google crown land atlas, and it'll pull up all of the crown land. Mind you, it's not the most up to date thing.
There's that. Was that iHunt?
iHunt
Ontario.
Yeah,
is an app that tells you different. Crown land.
You
places.
can Google the crown land atlas, and it'll show you all the crown land for. There's one just for Ontario, and then there's one for Canada. And it's again knowing your resources and knowing your regulations where you can and can't, and it's not hard to do, but you have to do the research.
Well, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that you can't just go out and shoot targets on crown land.
Yeah, it's a pretty big no-no because it's there for the public to use and the public to use responsibly. Because I've been out coyote hunting, so I'll know farmers who want coyotes dispatched up in north of 7, and a lot of the times the yotes are out in the crown land area. So we'll go out, we'll do the farm, and whatever comes on there we'll dispatch. But stuff on the crown land we'll go and try and dispatch that too, because that's where mainly it's coming from. But I'll be out there and people will be walking their dogs. Dogs aren't on leashes. They'll be running out. And if you've ever seen a coyote from a distance, it looks an awful lot like a German Shepherd. So you have to be really careful of knowing.
Don't shoot somebody's dog.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. It's a big oops. So
Old Yeller.
And you're on the hook for that.
Absolutely. And as a hunter, it's your job to identify what that animal is before you pull the trigger.
So what can you use crown line for? Let's say, can you hunt on crown land?
You can hunt on crown land.
Any crown land.
So always look into the crown land you're hunting. Again, it's all on that website.
Can you camp?
You can camp. You need certain permits for certain areas of crown land to camp on.
Can you film on crown land?
Yeah, 100% you can film on crown land.
Can you fish on crown land?
Yep.
Huh. That's interesting. I know, I never thought about this, and you think like crown land is crown land, but I didn't really ask these questions.
You can just go set up a.
Can you drive Can you drive a truck on crown land?
No. So there is access.
ATV?
So no, is for a reason. So you can't just go ATVing on a lot of crown land. Some of it you are allowed to. Some of it you aren't. Again, it's looking into it. You can drive your truck onto crown land in certain areas. It'll be designated or marked for the most point. Up north is a bit of a different animal. There's less people up there to help manage that sort of thing. Like any crown land around here, there's usually parking areas and it'll be actual signs.
But in the wintertime too, like there's a lot of these backwoods lakes we go to that we take some snowmobile trails to.
Yeah.
That you're not supposed to be on an ATV with.
Yeah.
You're only allowed to be right as long as you're going ice fishing.
Yeah.
You have ice fishing gear.
You don't need a permit to ride a snowmobile on.
You don't need the trail
pass.
pass.
If you have a snowmobile
right away,
yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have a right away.
It's really interesting. So you can just go camping. Like we could go and do like a 2-day partridge hunt and camp and.
Yeah, that's what the land is there for. And there's actually
we should do that.
100%.
That'd be fun.
It's great hunting. It's a great, especially you go up a couple 3 hours north isn't a crazy drive.
No, we've been to Texas.
Do that fishing.
Exactly. It's not. It's not a crazy drive. You go 3 hours up north, and it's a different beast than anything.
It depends on what Sean ate on the way up there.
Yeah. It's a B-star.
Gas station sandwiches.
Gas station sushi.
No, listen.
I would.
Yeah, I've been in a truck with him when he ate a hoagie that was expired, and he didn't tell us it was expired till after he ate it.
Quickie Mart.
It wasn't that far gone.
You were.
It wasn't that part gone.
Yeah. Wow. I was hungry.
Well, why don't we? Do you want to have a break? And then we'll come back and we'll talk more about this salmon thing. There's a lot to dive into here with this salmon thing, because I want to talk to you guys about the future of, like, are they going to try this? Like, the town of Port Hope still doesn't like anglers. I feel like they've used this for a bit of an
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Most townships and stuff don't like hunters.
Not like this town.
Yeah.
Not like this town.
Port Hope's a different beast.
It is a different beast. I'm wondering, when everybody let me know in the comments, do you think the town of Port Hope next year tries this again? Because they're going to claim this went so smoothly. We didn't have any problems in town. We didn't have a mess.
Saved.
Look all the money we saved.
Yeah.
Right? There's not very many locals who use the river.
Look at all the money we saved.
Well, they don't have to pay to clean up. They've been paying huge
clean station.
How much do you think they spent in that, like 20 or 40 kilometers in rope?
Right.
Yeah,
that's true too. Right?
You know, lots to talk about when we get back. Put your questions and comments. Jeremy, you're right. If you vote for me for mayor in the next municipal election, I will change all of this. I will bring more anglers to town, better, more ethical ones to police the river,
and bears.
Yes,
big ones, 13-footers.
M&R bear officers.
I'd let them go in a second, eh?
That'd be so scary.
Why?
Black bears aren't scary.
We're
Grizzlies and Kodiaks are scary.
So
I'd follow all the rules all the time. If I knew there was a chance that someone would sick a a grizzly bear on me, I would never break alive.
Yeah,
right.
we want
okay,
grizzlies.
When we get back, we're talking grizzly bears, Ganaraska, Kodiaks, other really bad ideas in the world of fear fishing. What, are you ready? I got you clued up enough?
Yeah.
Thank you. Mike Carnegie is a financial advisor at Northstone Wealth, providing insurance solutions to protect you and your family. Investment solutions for all your needs, like your kids' education and your retirement. Get good advice from a good guy and also a fellow angler and trusted member of the Fear Fishing family.
Hi, I'm Mike Carnegie. If you want a little direction, give me a shout. 905-925-0663. See you on the water.
The Jack Links people find me. Look at this. Look at all the Jack Links. Just arrived on the water, loaded up for the rest of summer. Cases and cases of Jack Links beef jerky. I think we're ready for a little fall fishing. Nothing better than jerky and fishing. Today, my friends, is the 5th of September 2020. We are doing something that I've never done in my life, and we're bringing good friends. The puppy's coming. Where is she there? Oh, she's sitting in the driver's seat, and it's going to be exciting. Let me first introduce our guests. No, they're not guests. They're just people who hang out all the time. Mark,
hey.
Are you excited?
I am.
You're all cameled out. Your PAL came in the mail.
You never ever go duck or dove hunting without your designer socks on.
We didn't even tell anybody yet. We are going dove hunting. I've never been dove hunting in my life. I don't even know that we're going to see any doves, but Gavin from Full Draw Outdoors is taking us dove hunting.
Listen to this. I pulled up to the stop sign there.
I saw a dove.
What flies right over me?
Doves.
Doves.
So we are on the adventure today to shoot some, not only shoot some doves, but Mark brought his barbecue.
Yes, I did.
And we are going to hopefully eat some doves. We need bacon. We need a little bit of barbecue sauce. But if you were excited right now about today's show, not only do we have Mr. Hunter, but we have Mr. Miyagi himself. Garrett is coming with us. Bro, what's up?
What's going on, everybody?
Anybody who doesn't know Garrett works at East Hill with me. You're the gun guy, the gun manager.
The gun guy.
The gun guy.
The gun guy.
You are coming with us on the adventure. This is your first fear fishing adventure. You'll never forget this, my friend. Let's get on the road. We got to get to the grocery store. We may chase a pointer all over the countryside today, but somehow, some way, doves are going to end up on that barbecue right there. Garrett, we're really counting on you today.
I got you guys.
Thanks, man. We have made it to the property. Everybody's excited, especially young Miss Casey. Her first hunt ever. Excited, Mark?
My first hunt ever with a gun, too.
Yeah, you got your gun.
Yeah. We're going to go try and knock down some appetizers here.
Not only Garrett is the one who's been actually dove hunting. We're coming up with a plan, but my special guest, the man of the hour, Full Draw Outdoors. Gavin, how's it going, buddy?
Good, man. How you doing?
We just didn't social distance at all.
No.
How's it going?
It's over.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
Are you
Saw
pumped?
A lot of birds flying today, so it should be good.
So there's birds around.
Yeah.
We got opportunities. We just got to figure out the game here.
Yeah, cut wheat field. They're everywhere. All on the tree lines.
I'm excited.
Good.
Are you excited?
Oh yeah, I'm pumped.
You got it. Do we have a plan? You get a plan because we brought a barbecue.
Oh, we'll get done.
Okay, we're gonna drive up a little bit. We're gonna get our stuff together and we're gonna make things happen. I'm real excited about this. I will tell you, Casey has no idea what we're doing, but she's real excited. Let's go, Gavin. Let's go. Let's get birds.
Got her.
I'm so excited for this. All right, we're trying to discuss how we're going to get some footage of shooting doves, but here is a very excited man. Mark, show the folks at home what you got.
I got me a Winchester SXP.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
This is your first gun ever.
This is my first gun ever. This will be my first time hunting with it, so I am pretty excited.
No doubt, man. I don't think it gets much sweeter than that. I was pretty excited to get my shotgun earlier this year, bro.
Yes.
That was like a little awkward.
We've waited a long time for this, man.
We have waited a long time for this. This is like a dream come true to get out here shooting and hunting. Now, let's talk to the professionals. Here's the professionals. There's some turkeys up on the hill. Okay. Boys. Are you guys working on a plan?
Yeah.
Do you guys go work out together?
Yeah. In the woods.
So we're going to make this happen. We need some doves so that we can do some cooking. This is all up to you two.
We got you guys. Don't worry.
Okay.
Shooting
Let's figure this out. Yeah, the shooting. I'm a 3-shot, 1-bird guy. Let's figure this out. Mark, you excited?
Yes, I am.
Let's do this. Garrett's making moves.
Marky, oh yeah, get some shells in there. Oh, I don't even know my shells. We're going hunting. Make it move. Okay. No doves yet, but it sure is pretty out here. We're getting our steps in. That's another thing that's great about this. We're getting skinny because we're going to deep fry some of these when we get them. Come on. Here. Come on. Come on.
They're going to fly your way.
Fear fishing. Making moves.
Welcome back to the show.
What a great day that was.
It was a beauty of a day. I
that was
like getting out.
blast.
It's too bad Call didn't come with and break up some relationships.
The love dove.
I can't wait to go again. So
me too.
Dove hunting, home wrecker sport.
Sunday, Sunday, geese season ends, early geese, and then there's a week before ducks, so we'll have to get back out a couple evenings playing divorce judge, Judge Judy.
Yeah, the homewrecker hunt.
What was that show? The homewrecker hunt. Oh, my God.
Hey, one of you got to mute your phone.
Yeah. That's me. Sorry.
Way to go. Just loves watching himself.
I can't believe I've done 114 of these, and I mess everyone up. Like, share, hit that thumb button. Give me a subscription.
Subscribe.
Mark.
Yes.
Where were we?
We were talking about Port Hope.
I really want to run for mayor. I've thought deep into this over the last 2 weeks.
You sound like Kanye West going to run for president.
Oh my God.
But he's way cooler.
I would like to design clothing. I hope Under Armour one day asks me to be the designer. Dream job, other than the TV show gig. And grizzly bear wrangler. What is
Breeder.
Breeder?
Yeah.
I would pay to watch you wrangle grizzly.
I think I could do it.
I would grab a big old bag of chips.
I don't think we should be I think we should encourage him to do this.
You can do it, man.
Was it not? I can do anything I put my mind
Follow
to.
your dreams.
All right.
I will tell you this right now.
We really need those bears now.
100%.
I would get in there. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Rip your face off with one swing.
Really?
No, it's fine.
No.
And you're nuts.
They would cower from me.
Oh,
listen, I would put a Garmin sport tracker on one of those things.
I would pay to watch you try to put one of those on a grizzly.
We're gonna tranquilize that bugger first.
You really think that would stop a grizzly?
Okay, listen. You know how Crocodile Dundee in that movie gets out of the Jeep and he gives like the Cape Buffalo falls over?
Oh, yeah.
Right? The most dangerous animal in the world. What do you think happens when you do this to a grizzly?
Nothing. That's
confidence.
You lose it.
Yeah. That gets eaten.
He comes over here, I just smack him in the face.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
I think we could
I'll
set
just
this
be like,
up.
back your shit up.
A bit of money, we could definitely get Ian in with a grizzly bear.
Dude, dressed like that.
There'll be somebody. If we keep talking about it enough on this show, somebody will be like, oh shit, I just tuned in. I have 3 in my backyard.
Hey, I used to be afraid of sharks because I scuba dive.
Yeah.
But then I learned all I got to do is poke it in the eye and it goes away.
Yeah, that's it, eh?
Yeah.
As easy as that?
Yeah.
Right on.
So we need somebody to hook us up with some grizzly bears and sharks.
So, no, whoa. Let's back this bus up. So a great white shark, like, and I'm thinking like, what's that movie where they're in like the
Jaws?
No.
Are you sure it's not Jaws?
Way too realistic of a movie. What's the movie like the Deep Blue Shark or something? When Ice Cube is talking about making the perfect omelet.
Yes, that sounds like a super realistic good movie.
Is it Ice Cube?
in it and
Ice
sharks.
Cube, who's the chef, and he's like, you got to use 3 eggs. Right?
Know.
And no, it's LL Cool J. It's LL Cool J.
They're on the whole like research rig.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
So Woody,
movie.
a great white shark. You're in your scuba tank looking like a seal.
Deep Blue Sea, I think was.
Yeah, it's called Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
You're poking along. Great white turns, 38-footer.
Yeah.
Size of a bus. He comes at you like at ferocious speed, and you're just going to be like,
you're getting your finger poker out.
Yeah, man. Like, here's me.
Woody, I feel like you'd be in its mouth by the time you're just like.
I would reach out.
Instantly released. You're totally fine.
Not me. I'd be like Jesus. I'd be walking on water. I'd be gone.
See, that sounds more realistic than just.
I'm not that afraid. I don't
eye.
feel like I'm that afraid of sharks.
Tickle their belly.
Yeah, that's because we live in Canada.
Yeah, we have sharks. We have great whites.
We live in inner Canada.
Inner Canada.
Tell me how close where the closest ocean is where you can.
Didn't they just like have a whale or something in Montreal? Okay, so it could happen. Can any shark live in fresh water?
Yep.
Yeah. Bull sharks.
Bull sharks, are they dangerous?
Yes.
Okay, so you they're not all dangerous.
No, they're not. You can just poke them in the eye.
Did you learn this on Shark Week?
I learned it during scuba diving.
With sharks?
That was
an instructor told you to do this?
This was in the manual, Woody?
Yeah, in the manual. Just poke it in the eye.
I really hope you were learning how to scuba dive in the Great Lakes, and they're like, by the way, if you ever come across a shark by chance, poke it in the eye.
Throw some of those videos of the great whites attacking like the dragging seal behind the boat, like in Africa.
Like the buoy. Yeah.
I feel like a great white shark's mouth is too far for you to poke him in the eye.
I don't know why. I just like, wait, hold on a second. Let me check.
So you're going to hug it? So grizzly bear's eyes are right out front. I think that we could train grizzly bear. I think it's the only way to bring back the ecosystem here.
Okay, so they hire guys who have grizzly bears for movies.
Yeah, we met him. Remember when we met Bart? Bart's dead, but we met him. Woody and I met him.
Yeah.
So we could hire one of those guys, throw you in a room with a grizzly for a little while, and see how you come out.
No, and in a little room, like I could take him at the river in my natural environment.
Oh, okay, so you'd rather
natural environment.
Yeah.
Your natural environment, not the grizzly bears.
No, he wouldn't be used
I
to
could
the...
totally take him in the wild.
Well, yeah. You got to think big, man. I totally think this is awesome. If anybody out there even has a grizzly bear that we can visit, let us know. That'd be pretty cool. You ever
I don't think there's no grizzly people.
There's got to be somebody. The Toronto Zoo's got one. Toronto Zoo, shout out to Toronto Zoo. Can we come see your bear? He doesn't look that friendly, like mean through the glass. You got like a 50, like how many of you guys have watched those hard copy videos where
were you going to say a
somebody
50-50 chance?
Somebody falls into the bear enclosure or the polar bear enclosure or the gorilla enclosure. You got a 50-50 chance, right?
No, you don't.
What do you mean?
It's a 99-1 chance that you make it out of.
No.
Okay, you fall in with like a giraffe. Yeah, you're probably gonna be good. Probably gonna make it out of there. You fall in with a grizzly. Your day just got a little bit ruined, buddy.
You think
or a
so?
gorilla.
That's a day.
Gorilla would bugger you up.
Well, let's not bring up some bad memories there.
I've watched a lot of those videos actually where people fall into animal enclosures. They're never good.
I was going to say, how often do they make it out okay?
They're never. You never get to pet them. Ever.
Now, rolling this back in, what are the odds Port Hope tries to shut this down next spring for the steelhead season? And what do we do as anglers? Like, how do you stop this? Like we've talked about this 100 times.
You don't.
Like,
block off the highways.
over and over again. Anglers and hunters. I can't think of any other group other than teenage partiers who they've shut down.
Well, no, you can't just look at it as a group of anglers because it's all the public that can't go on those properties. There's lots of people that walk their dogs down there. The beach is closed. Yeah, Mark and I went down there earlier today.
Yeah, walked together.
Yeah, we seen one guy out there. We were like, "What's that guy doing?"
He's fishing.
I'm like, "Oh my God, he's fishing!"
And you know what?
And then we start looking, boat. And we get a little closer, and he's sitting there shored up, and he's in a boat.
Yeah,
he's fishing away.
Yeah,
you know.
So they haven't shut the launch yet.
No, the launch is still open.
Is open. It's $10 though. $10 to launch to park.
That's a lot of prune juice for you.
It is.
The younger they get, the harder time they give you.
We did the math the other day. I'm like twice your age, right? You're 25, right? And I'm
49.
3
times.
3 times.
Didn't you just have your 75th birthday?
Put your abacus bag in your pocket.
I think they're going to try. I think they're going to try now to just shut that river down every chance they get.
Well, they've been trying to do it for years anyway. So
let's talk about.
Yeah, but the only way they can do it right now is with this pandemic angle.
Yeah.
But now that they own the property, they got away with it,
and they own all the rope.
Yes, they're set up now.
Rope.
Lot invested in that rope.
Yeah. Can they influence the MNR enough?
I don't think they need the MNR's permission to shut their land down.
Has nothing.
No, I mean the watershed. Can they influence?
They would never do that.
No.
I don't think the MNR would ever do that.
I don't think they can influence the MNR enough to shut the water down. And it's not even just the MNR who controls all of that.
Yeah.
But they can shut down everything around it. Like your access is going to be limited to nothing.
They close that launch.
Could they close off the mouth of the river with rope?
No, that's a different animal. That's a whole different ball game.
It's not their.
Like that.
See, Jim Allen, a good guy out there. Right? There's a lot of haters in the world, but Jim Allen says, and I quote, "I don't know. With that hat and beard, Ian looks like Grizzly Adams. He may make it out." Thank you, Jim.
Jim, I'd like to correct you and say that he looks an awful lot like a hipster.
Yeah, that can't change a tire.
Yeah.
It is.
You shouldn't even have that beard.
True story.
It's true.
I think you should grow the man bun.
That's why I got Mercer Marine. What would Mercer Marine do if I didn't get flat tires and need him?
You get a lot of other shit done.
Yeah.
He probably would.
Chores.
Their business would be so much better.
Anybody needs boat winterized, Mercer Marine.
I'm going to take mine to Barstow Marine, I think.
Really? I take mine to Mercer.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just leave it there for a couple of days till somebody either winterizes or it stays there the winter.
Why don't you just do it yourself?
Oh, whoa.
Hey, now.
Would you like an invite back
nuts?
there? I talk and edit videos.
That's a 4-letter word that he don't do. W-O-R-K. What are you thinking?
What is this manual labor? I've never... Mexican guy?
People do
I had to
this?
move skids on the weekend for Dale because he was having an absolute meltdown.
I get to work. This is all during the whole Ian stealing my truck and moving it.
Oh, yeah, I did do that. We forgot to talk. I did.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
So I'm outside and I'm trying to figure out inventory for the day. And I look over and he's got his phone out and he's doing his Instagram stuff. And he goes, "Oh, can you take a picture of me pulling this?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "It's not often I do manual labor." Manual labor to Ian was him with the pump cart pulling a skid.
Power pump cart.
The power pump cart. The one that's got a motor on it that you flip a switch and it pulls itself.
Yeah.
He was walking a piece of machinery and he's like, "Oh, take a picture of this manual labor."
Yeah, get this into you, boys.
Yeah.
Next level stuff right here. Well, I felt so bad. Dale's 104 years old. He beat Rocky Marciano in 1936 for the heavyweight belt of the world. He also was a bouncer when the Beatles came from England. He's a trooper. He works. So Saturday morning, I got up extra early, left the house for I could help the old boy. I had her pretty much all done by the time he got there. And Garrett left his keys on his trunk.
You had it pretty much all done?
I had it all done. He
There was 2 pump carts. And
yeah.
I believe the manual one was working too.
Yeah. Okay. We were at it.
So Sean was there too.
No, I was watching.
Yeah, Sean was. Who was helping me?
I definitely.
It wasn't Luke. Was it Luke?
Hi, how's it going? Hey, what's up?
You?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I didn't see you there.
Well, definitely freaking there.
Unforgettable. No. But the sale went good.
That's
a lot
good.
of people.
That's good.
The sale was crazy.
It was good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this because I'm sure other outdoor stores are going to start running sales after we set precedents. 20 people in the store, 3 out. Sean ran the door.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that store was busy all day long. We got there in the morning. There was a lineup from the side door all the way out the front of the building and started to go down the 115.
Yeah.
People standing, yeah.
Everybody was really polite. I didn't hear anybody upset about having to wait.
Not at all.
I didn't hear any complaining about waiting. I didn't hear anybody complaining about masks. Like, everybody actually had a really good time.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was steady. 20 in, couple out, more in,
And I'll tell you, the till at the front, because I sat right at the front door at the exit, I had to let people out. We had to keep the door locked because we had to manage the amount of people that were in the building at one time. And I sat at that front door and I watched that till all day long, and that till never stopped. It stopped for maybe 5 to 10 minutes once in the afternoon, where I was like, oh, it's going to slow down. And then it was like, boom, all day the rest of the day, nonstop. Bling, 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 bling. People going out, people going out, people going out. It was a really good
There's
day.
a ton of people in there all 3 days.
Busy
I really enjoy the sale because you get to meet people. Yeah. You never know who you're going to run into.
As we were over in the gun department, I was still sending guys down up to the front where you were to grab people out of that line because it was just constantly nonstop. There wasn't a break in the day where there wasn't somebody
out of till.
There.
Yeah, it was crazy. Who was that guy that we met that you used to fish with that you thought?
Adam. That's a crazy story. I met a couple great people during the sale. I won't throw Adam's last name out here. When I was a young man, Adam's probably, I'm guessing. Shout out to Pete Dixon. Pete Dixon was Adam's friend too.
Yeah.
Adam and Pete were closer than I was with Adam. Adam is probably one of the best steelheaders I've ever met in my life. Like, I mean, unbelievable. I have this very vivid memory of being maybe 13, 14, 15, somewhere in that age. Down the river, I had center pin, caught a ton of steelhead. I was fishing at the willow trees. Adam shows up in his BMW, right? Rolls out, and I mean, crushes them. And we hadn't got a hit. I mean, like 30 steelhead. Adam is the Kevin Van Dam of when we were younger. He was just on the next level of understanding river fishing and when to use this and when to use that. So I'm not going to throw Adam's name out because I'm going to tell how I remember the story. When we were that age, you didn't have cell phones and we didn't have Facebook, it was really hard to connect with people, right? You're too young. So, I would just see Adam and Pete and the rest of my buddies every Saturday morning at the river. So I didn't see Adam for a really long time. And I heard that he had got really sick with cancer. And I had heard years after that he had passed away. So John and I are shooting the shit, talking at East Hill. And when you because the mask deal, when you recognize somebody's voice?
Yeah, but you don't know.
And you don't know. And I'm looking at him, and I was talking to him about a Daiwa rod he was looking at. And I was like, I know that guy, right? So he said, I said, hey, do you used to riverfish Port Hope? And he's like, yeah. And I said, my name's Ian. And he's like, I know you. And I was like, your name's Adam, right? And he's like, yeah. And
I thought you were dead.
Honest to God. I'd never been so happy to see somebody in my life, right? And we talked for like an hour and a half. About,
yeah. He hung around the store for a long time.
Talking
Super
about
cool cat.
Which he is an amazing dude, very thought out. So, well, we come to find out that Adam's just finished his medical degree. He was talking about delivering babies and all the different career. And I was floored that it's Adam. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still doesn't have social media, he told us. And but he said he would come into the store and we're going to reconnect and hopefully do some float fishing this fall. I was beside
Seen
myself.
a ghost.
Do you know what I mean? I was so excited to see him.
That's wicked. That's a really cool story.
Yeah, you can run into anybody when you're at something like that.
It's such a big event that, especially when it's something that you're interested in, you're gonna run into somebody, and it happened to me too. It wasn't as cool a story as that, but
old boyfriend. Game on.
Okay, we're gonna play this game.
Oh yeah.
All right.
You just told the guy he was 75 years old. But you never know who you're going to run into or what's going to happen after. That's the beauty part of an outdoor store, right? And everybody who comes in, you have some kind of common interest with them.
Yeah.
Right?
Jeez.
She wants out. Can I?
Yeah, you can let her out.
Is this because I brought you the wrong insurance this morning?
Maybe you could just throw the back door open for her. She may have to go to the washroom after all those bones.
They showed it to Philip 4896 on YouTube here. I was talking to him on Thursday about the Tatula SV. Came back Friday and picked one up.
Nah, boy.
Says he loves it. It's a pure weapon.
Nice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I love the SVs. Pretty much all I use.
Changed
are
my
SVs.
game.
Yeah.
Changed my bait cast.
When you were, did you check out the new CT while you were at the store, Sean?
The new which?
The new Tatula CT that just showed up. I used it 2 nights cranking for Chinooks. I didn't get any fish, and nobody's seen it yet, but I got one 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you showed us. Yeah.
Beast of a reel for $169.99, I think. The entry level into the Tatula. What are you giggling about?
Just Mark.
What? What I do?
Under the table stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Did you get one chance to check one out?
Yep.
What'd you think?
They're sweet.
They are sweet.
They are sweet.
They're
gonna have to add one to the arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with the SV.
Have you ever? Hold on. I thought she was barking. I was gonna have to give her a little zip. But that was exciting. The whole sale was really good. I really enjoyed myself. I met some new friends. I met some new people.
We got to go hunting.
We got to go hunting afterwards. Yep. And I got to see Adam. I can't tell you how, because I could have hugged the guy. Do you know what I mean? When you
yeah.
Just want to hug.
Honest to God, I'd thought about Adam and that day he was unbelievable.
Well, at the end of the day, we had a 20-minute conversation outside about who he was, right? Because I asked Ian, I'm like, who was that guy? And he told me the whole thing, and I'm like, wow, that's really awesome that he came in and you guys reconnected.
I felt so much better. Do you know what I mean?
No,
I felt
you
terrible.
came up to me. We were out back just taking a breather from the whole thing. You came out and you're like, you'll never guess who I just met. You explained the whole story, and it sounded just like such a relief. Oh my God, he's
I
okay.
was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, cool.
Do you know what I mean? I honestly, it was like I saw a ghost.
It's like seeing Elvis in tweed or something.
Kind of.
Oh, man.
You did buy a rod.
Oh, yeah. He bought a couple rods.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a good dude. Super dude. And you know what? When he was telling me about all the schooling he'd done and how hard it was and, becoming a doctor, I was like, this makes a lot of sense why you did this. And I'm really super awesome. I couldn't be happier. They made my weekend. It's the little things.
That's a pretty big thing, actually.
Yeah, like people coming back from the dead.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Now I wish I'd asked him about steelhead and stuff. I can't even tell you. Like
Is he still doing
level.
it? Is he still fishing? And
He does fish quite a bit. He's still really into
Did you get a number from this guy so you guys?
No, I don't. Like, that would have been unfair to our rules here, right? Like, he says he's going to come in the store. We're going to go fishing. That's like how it always worked when we were kids. We would make packs. Okay, let's talk. Did you guys have the friends when you were kids?
Yes, I had friends when I was a kid.
Other than
I had a
Mike,
really bad childhood.
other than Mike Carnegie.
Yeah.
So, we would all meet at the river, and we would make plans like for the next Saturday. I don't remember when I've made plans a week out ever now, but we would be like, all right, guys, are you guys all free Saturday? Okay, one of them, because I was always younger than the rest of them, like quite a bit younger. They would all been like 16, like they all had driver's license and I didn't. I was quite a bit younger, and they just let me hang out because I was the local kid. So,
Hi.
Pete Dixon or Dan Sims or one of those guys, Ryan Gregory, with John Debenstein, one of those guys that picked me up at my house, and then we'd Steve Balzan, or we'd all like meet at the river, right? Like there was like a huge group, and we'd fish every Saturday through the fall. Did you guys have those experiences growing up? Like guys, you would like I would talk to a couple of them during the week, like phone calls to check in, and you would like Dan had message me or call me and be like, hey, I talked to Pete. Pete's coming. Call Ryan and tell him the two of us are coming. And then like that kind of thing.
So I grew up in more of like the suburbs. So we met up at the green electrical boxes on the side of the road, and that's where we'd make our plans. But I know what you're getting at. It's not.
Like it's not the same now. Like like technology is a little better. And we can all talk on the phone on the way home from wherever. But did you have that? Like you up in Bob Cajun, did you have a group of friends who you were like, hey, I'm gonna?
Yeah, we had a group of friends that we all hung around all the time.
Yeah,
always. Oh yeah, always with our causing shit.
Yeah.
Did you guys used to meet up at like the old malt shops on your way back?
Were you guys all
roller skates over?
Yeah. They all had like their wheel,
guys, we're going to the
wheel
hop.
and stick. Can you see Mark as a kid wheeling his like the stick down the
hoop and a stick,
can and a string,
jacks. Used to play jacks.
Really?
No.
Lies.
They invented jacks.
Shout out to Dale.
We all pretty well lived on the same street anyways.
Riding down the roads with your enormously large bicycle tires on the front.
You've got
wherever the bikes were, that's where everybody was.
You know what? I've noticed in today's day and age, I don't see kids riding bikes like I used to. Like there used to be
run
like
the tires off ours.
Like I rode my bike everywhere. Like to the river. I remember having like a telescope rod so we can go down to the river. But I never see kids anymore. Like Ashton never even asked for a bike.
We used to go to the creek behind my parents' house, just like a little tiny Harmony Creek is one of them, and with cheese and little hooks and catch like the chubs and stuff in the creek, catching chubs,
cheese
with the boys,
cheese and hooks
with cheese. Cheese and hooks.
Wow! Now it's spinning reels and dingers
and frogs. Got lots of frogs and tadpoles
with the boys.
Oh, that kills me. But do you know what I mean? Like I feel like kids miss out a lot in today's day and age when it comes to that. So when I was a kid, I used to go to my family farm, and before I was old enough to work, that's probably why I don't like manual labor anymore. I remember having a knight's outfit. My grandfather was a welder. I had a New Yorker hubcap as a chest plate, and I had like arms, right, and a helmet, and we had a walker hound, and I would take him into the barn all day, and we would defeat. I thought he was the dragon, right, and I'd drag him back to the house, and I had a joust. So I built like a fork out of hay, and every time he got in, I tried to kill him.
You should probably still wear that helmet.
Yeah, you probably should.
And I can remember dragging that dog all over the place, telling everybody, no, they'd be like, that's the dumbest hound I ever saw. And I'd be like, don't speak to my dragon like that.
I used to do Big Brothers, Big Sisters. So I was a big brother. And the guy or the kid, he's 16 now.
Yeah.
I was a big brother too. It was a big thing to go out. And like we used to go down to the river, and I just teach him how to goose call.
Yeah,
just going out and doing that. And he's like, "It's so much fun out here." He's like, "I don't know why I don't come out here anymore." But he's always at home. They're playing different video games. Like I played video games and stuff too as a kid, but it was a treat going outside. Like it was the best thing in the world. But now it's more drawn inside activities. going out on a bike ride. I took him out one night and we just went out and had a bonfire.
Yeah.
Going on a bonfire, I got him a knife. And we whittled marshmallow sticks, and then I showed him how to whittle. Like,
I don't
little
feel
things out of knives.
That was a big thing for me too. Was getting my first pocket knife, like the wood with the gold ring, like from Canadian Tire,
an old buck knife or something like that.
See,
army knife. You're the king.
I would save up and I would get stuff like that. Like I'd get a slingshot or I'd get a BB gun, and then I'd have it for a week and I'd have it taken away because I like shot the neighbor, or broke somebody's window.
Woody was a huge collector of BB guns and weapons.
Oh yeah.
I remember having pellet gun wars at your house.
But I'd modify them, like the Crossman.
I have this. Okay. This is how stupid we were.
Off cross.
We go to Woody's house. Shout out to Chad Leesmaster. We go to Woody's house, and Woody's like, "Here, I'll give you guys each a gun, right? Like a air rifle." He's like, "Let's go. We'll play war. I'm going to take a slingshot." This bastard brings marbles, and he goes first. So he's in like the tree line, right? And we're crawling through the grass, and I can hear these things going through the grass. At the time, I was like, I'm going to shoot him with the gun. Like, he's dead. He'll never see us. We're ninjas. Now, looking back on it, like, if he had hit one of us,
oh, yeah, you
would have been dead.
Yeah.
Way to go.
We were so stupid when we were kids. We stole some 22 rounds. And all of us, we went to this fire pit on this vacant lot. And we put a rock in the middle of the fire pit, and then we put a 22 shell on it, and we would smash it with other rocks. and we were all standing in a circle, and we just boom. We were all like, "Oh yeah, this is amazing." Then one went across and went into the guy's siding and went across the canal, hit the guy's house, and he came out and started screaming at us, and we scattered.
Yeah.
Thinking back on that now.
Oh, sounds like a great time.
I'm like, what are you guys doing later? You want to grab some 22 shell?
You want to go smash some bullets with?
Okay, so we're getting deep into the conversation here. Like, do you think that our generation and the generations before, like, we got really lucky, or is today's generation like watered down?
I think
100%.
We are just way more badass.
Cooler. Yeah.
Way cooler.
Yeah.
We had so my first BB gun I got for Christmas. I don't know, it was like 10 or something like that. And so then all the neighbors and all the other kids had to get BB guns because we were going to have wars. So I was like, I'll shoot myself with it so I know what it feels like. And then if I shoot one of them, then it won't be so bad. And that was my mentality. It's like, I shot myself with it. I know it's not that bad, so I can now just shoot you guys.
Yeah.
And I shot the first kid, and he went instantly home to his dad. And his dad
Woody got me one time in the back of the leg, and Barb had to pull the BB out. Like, yeah, it was like in there through the pants. And and I can remember her telling me, like, stop moving. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it toughens you
but
up.
But that was also back in the day. Like, our parents used to beat us.
Yeah.
The hairbrush. Oh my god!
Like we would take an ass whooping.
Yeah.
And nowadays, like you can't give these kids ass whooping.
They whoop your ass at school,
right? You know what I mean? But and also now, but you're seeing, like, you'd never see. I don't think, not too many people from our generation would go up to like a police officer. Like, I seen this video the other day. Go up to a police officer, and he's got a donut on a fishing rod, and he's like, Here, piggy, you want a donut? Like, you're walking down the street filming this. Like, this kid hasn't been hit in the mouth enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there is that.
You would not get that from our generation.
No. I call every older person like sir. Like, even at the store, like, how are you today, sir?
I think we're way more respectable when it comes to that.
There is this thing. Do you remember, what were their names in Port Hope? Bruce and Shannon?
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Brooks.
Like, if they drove like a Camaro.
Yeah.
And if you, like, mouth them, they'd have just beat you up. Right? Like, straight up. Like, they just pull their Camaro over and beat you up. Like, I can remember being like, don't mess with Bruce and Shannon.
You're getting one.
They'll kill you, right?
Yeah.
But, like, do you remember that?
I do.
Like, you just didn't mouth off. When you were an 8, you didn't tell the 18-year-old to go F himself.
No.
Right? Because he couldn't pummel you.
But when you were 8, you also couldn't say to go F yourself to anybody. Like, that was
I
okay.
could.
When I was 8.
I could.
That was not okay when I was 8.
That was way in my vocabulary when I was 8. I was doing it all the time. I also got my ass whipped all the time by bigger dudes. I'd lip right off to them, and they would come over, and they would just pommel me. And I'd take her like a champ, and as I'm walking away, I'd be right back at them.
Yeah, that was not.
That was me, too. Yeah, totally. But, yeah, I remember, like, Bruce and Shannon would show up at the park, and it'd be, like, kids running for their lives.
Yeah.
Like, down at the town park, and that Camaro would be, like, spinning.
Oh, yeah.
kids would be running from their lives. Like you just like, yeah, it's crazy.
That would make the news now.
They would have been like 18, 19. They were quite a bit older than us.
Yeah.
They'd have been like 18, 19, and we would have been like 10. Yeah. But they were just looking for one kid to like melt them off, and then they'd chase you with like when you were on your GT, right? Like you'd
chase you with a Camaro?
No, they'd like show up with the Camaro, right? And they'd be looking for some like 13-year-old kid to go tell them to have themselves, and then me, I'd try to like get as far across the on my GT. They always come in the wintertime and then run home because I live close, right? Yeah. But then my old man whooped my ass for causing trouble when I got home. I can remember, so I always lived in this house, and my parents would watch TV down there. And you know when you live somewhere so long that you can tell people's footsteps?
Yep.
I knew my mom's footsteps. She would come 3 times when like I was the big brother who would like go across the hall and like sneak in and like slap my brother in the face while he's sleeping. Scared the snot out of him, right? I just couldn't help myself. So Lee would come, and Lee would get like aggressively angry, like, do you know what I mean? She wasn't against using like a wooden spatula or something. Do you know what I mean? Like she'd lay down the law. If he got up on number 4 always, I always thought that if he loses his marbles, he may kill us. Right? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He never like used weapons. I just knew in my head that there was like this limitation. And if we cross this line, it could be over. Right? He could hug you, but he could also kill you. I always figured that my mom like had enough common sense to like stop hitting before death came.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like she had that motherly instinct.
Didn't think he had that.
I didn't think he had that. I didn't think he had that till he was 61 years old. But that's the generation you come from, right? Now today you see these like people are just asking for it. It's almost like
they were never spanked bare ass with a hairbrush when they were a kid.
Hairbrush.
You never got that one?
It's about consequences. I think you got to grow up and still have fear.
You for sure.
Absolutely.
Right? And have knowledge that there is consequences for your actions. You're going to suffer a repercussion.
Every year some kid turns 19 and 99 of them are fine. One goes down there and lips off like he at the bar after he's had too many drinks, and somebody pummels him. Now it seems like and that's like a rite of passage, or it used to be a rite of passage, right? Like that's kind of how you learn your lesson. It's not like that anymore, right? Because you have to sit there and listen to some kid.
There was a lot more bar fights, I think, back in the day.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
it was every night. There was one every night.
Yeah. But if you got out of hand and you were real disrespectful to somebody, you got punched in the face, and you next weekend you really thought about who you were going to lip, right?
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but there doesn't seem to be any kind of consequence anymore to any of this, because we almost like,
because if it happens nowadays, there can't be a fight.
So do you think
there's no way there can be a fight without
cameras there,
without cameras, without cops immediately? Like it's not an acceptable thing anymore.
I'm not saying that fighting is a good thing or anything like that, or violence of any time, but there is that kind of like sometimes somebody just needs a shot in the teeth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
A high five in the face
like
with a chair?
Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean?
High five with a closed fist.
It's almost like sometimes somebody deserves a shot like that, and then you pick them up and you're like, hey, you can't speak to people like that.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before. There'd be a handshake.
Sure there would.
Yeah.
There'd be a drink after.
Yeah.
You sit at the bar later.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I remember being at the bonfire and 2 footing a guy in the chest. And then I got pulled back, and I got
leave it up to the Japanese guy. Come screaming across the room with the old 2
and then I got my shit kicked in, and but afterwards I went up and it was like, here, and I gave him a beer. I'm like, I felt like crap, and I literally felt like crap, and then physically felt like crap, and had a beer with him afterwards.
Oh, Garrett's son.
Who's ready for final thoughts?
We're doing that already. We should start there.
Why? Start where?
I'm not ready.
Because the only reason is because he's not there.
Sean, go ahead. Give us your final thought.
I was just about to say, don't forget to beat your children, but that would be good.
We're gonna end it on that, everybody.
Probably not good. But no, my final thought: figure out your rules and regulations. If there's a way around them, and you're every right to do it, do it.
No, for sure. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That was good on those guys for like looking into this and getting her done. Do you know what I mean? Like that's really, yeah, good on them.
Yep.
They did their homework. They made the calls that they needed to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
To find out
They knew the
information.
they knew the right information.
And ran with it.
Are you ready, Mark?
But you can't just go
Yeah,
like
I
no,
can do whatever I want.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
show.
No, you got to go around the table.
Yeah, I can do whatever.
You're
I
not
want.
being last.
Yeah. No.
Woody's
I'm-
always last.
Yeah, he
Because
is.
he's an inspiration to us all.
It's true.
No, I go after Woody, so that mine looks.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Always got to
I
have
have the last word, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even. What should I say?
Really?
Summer's come to an end.
Listen,
They're having
we've
mass
done
hot
this
dogs at the
every
retirement
show
home
for
tomorrow.
114 of these, and you still
I
are
know.
like,
I
what?
know. Get outside, enjoy the outdoors. It's gonna get cold outside.
Weird,
I don't know.
John.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
Garrett, you got something?
I don't know.
You
If I
suck.
don't know if I could top Mark. Get outside, enjoy the outdoors. Don't get your ass beat with a hairbrush.
Yeah.
Garrett's is going to be try the 2-footed kick.
If you're going for a kick, 2 feet is better than one.
Do you have a scope for that at East Hill?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay, that's embarrassing. Go ahead.
No, I think the biggest thing to take away is when you are out there enjoying the outdoors is, like Sean said, do it properly. It's not hard to do it properly and to look in how to do it properly and get out of your comfort zone with it.
You just recycled Sean.
I'm not.
We're on
I'm
the
not.
same side of the table.
Yeah,
we can do that, Mark.
Just because you say it backwards.
like I'm big time hunting, and I'm not as big into the fishing. Like, I didn't know it was actually such a blasphemy to eat a bass. I just thought it was because bass aren't that great to eat that we didn't do it.
They taste like
we suggest the muskie.
But
Oh my God!
Nice sweet meat.
but I was saying, I want to get out there. Can we just not?
The other white meat.
For as long as you live, you'll never live that one down. Who comes on this show and was like, "Yeah,
boy.
I caught a muskie. I ate it,
And I ate it. Same thing when we went out with Gavin. I would have eaten a crow if we got one. Tastes like pigeon. You ever had pigeon?
No.
Sean has a bad
hunt Toronto.
Sean had a bad pigeon experience.
Yeah, real bad.
That's
Yeah,
the
he
chalet.
No.
The pigeon one died.
Pigeon hunting. Yeah, wouldn't die.
Is this a bad? Okay. Anyways, get out of your comfort zone with it. I want to go out, do some more fishing, but that's not my forte. So Ian and I talked about that. I talked about
You're gonna get him to teach you?
No, I'm gonna go out with Sean.
Okay, that's better.
I set that up for them.
Yeah. He slid into my DMs the other night.
Nice.
Okay, do you have a final thought or not?
Get out of your comfort zone. Go out, have fun outside.
Eat a muskie.
Eat a muskie.
Muskie.
Love it. I just love it.
Muskie.
Muskie.
Wow.
You got to get a charter to get one of those.
Wow.
Dude, fish fingers for days.
Oh, I can't. My stomach hurts now. Okay, Woody, we got to wrap this up, man.
Well, 2 weeks ago we talked about the bear breeding facility, but I realize now we probably need to do some training. So if there are any grizzly bear trainers out there, Ian would gladly take some lessons.
Are we just gonna bypass the fact that you said that you could take on any shark by poking it in the eye? We need to come back to that as well.
That's how Garrett killed the muskie.
Wow.
My final thought is be open to new experiences. Sometimes the door closes and new ones are just right around the corner. Be more of a yes person than a no person. Twice this week, 3 times this week, actually. Usually I don't go hunting with strangers. Saturday, we were invited by some nice young men who follow us on Instagram, and they were like, hey, Garrett and Ian, would you like to come hunting with us? Normally I would be hum and ha. This time I was like, yes, and I even had to twist your arm. The next night, our buddy Gavin from Full Draw Outdoors was like, do you want to go goose hunting? It's a 50-50 shot. Most of the time I would be like, no, But now I'm saying yes. Get outside and join the things. When somebody invites you over for a beer, say yes. Why not? Life is very short. Enjoy yourself. Make the most of it. You never know what is just around the corner. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have enjoyed myself. Garrett, you can come back even though you ate a muskie.
I'll bring up some fried bass for everybody next time.
Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night. Say nice things to your loved ones and never beat your children unless really necessary. Good night.
My soul, my heart, you stole with the lies that you told. Hoping I would never know you like your plan. Want me to be another man you control. But lo and behold, see that you might be confused. But to see its days. Believe me when I say that the people will unite as one. The fight is never done until the right has overcome and the wrong is washed away. See that you might be confused, but a few hundred years, my soul was there, and now I'm here. Don't mean that I don't care. Some ain't sincere, some are fair, but when the power's clear, integrity is rare. But I ain't gonna sit cope with the facts and lay down with no hope. Relax and enjoy to the max what you got where you at.